As we've previously discussed, you can never appease narcissists, and there's no amount of appeasement or acquiescing to COVID mandates that will satisfy the bully boy elites in charge of your country. If you keep playing along with their demands, you can expect more demands. It all comes to a halt when you refuse to comply. Many people believe that after the vaccine, life will just return to normal. I've been saying for quite a while now, normality was never supposed to return, and that an entirely new dystopian normal was being created through fear, coercion, and the slow boiling frog effect, where people are gradually acclimatized over time through prolonged exposure and adaptation to a new way of living. People actually believed that if they did what they were told by the government and the media, like good little children, then one day they wouldn't have to wear face masks and do social distancing anymore.
Once the process is complete, does that mean they can take off their masks? They don't have to social distance. They can just go about their lives as before?
I would recommend that that's not the case. I would recommend you have an added area of protection. Obviously, with a 90+% effective vaccine, you could feel much more confident. But I would recommend to people to not abandon all public health measures just because you've been vaccinated, because even though for the general population, it might be 90 to 95% effective, you don't necessarily know for you how effective it is. So when I get vaccinated, which I hope to, when it becomes my turn to get vaccinated, I'm not going to abandon completely public health measures. I could feel more relaxed and essentially not having the stringency of it that we have right now. But I think abandoning it completely would not be a good idea.
Because 5 to 10% of the people that get immunized, it will not be effective for. So they might actually get the virus if they just completely let down their guard. Okay, that's interesting.
So there you have it. Social distancing and masks are supposed to continue forever, apparently. How did humanity ever exist prior to the implementation of these stringent and totally unnatural and anti-human public health measures? Now, recently, Professor Luke O'Neill spoke to a group of school children.
The vaccine will at least drop the R naught by 0.8, 0.9, okay? So now we're down to 0.2, which is incredible, really. That means it takes 10 people to infect 2. In that situation, you're almost back to normal. And if the R naught is down at 0.2, 0.1, nobody has to wear masks. Nobody has to worry about distancing, right? That's the ultimate goal here. We will get there eventually. The only question is how long is it going to take and how widespread is the coverage of the vaccine. So I would predict by next summer, if 50% are vaccinated, and we know the vaccine is working gangbusters, we could well see no need for masks in school at all because the risk of infection is a lot lower, So that's the way to think of it. It's a decreasing of risk all the time. And then as the risk gets lower, there's no need to observe things because you got a low risk of getting infected. Like, let me give you one more example. Imagine we vaccinate all the nursing homes. All those people are now, they have a 95% decreased risk of getting infected. Of course, we can visit them again. Of course, they can come out of the nursing homes and visit us because the risk is so low that they're going to get infected. Now, in that time, though, in the next 6 months already, we keep wearing the masks. We keep distancing because we haven't got full coverage, and it'd be sensible to keep observing, all difficult though they are. We may wear masks every winter. Remember, you never know because it's not that difficult. Not in schools, but in shops and so on, like you see in China, for instance. So we may observe some of these things into the future, and so I think it's going to be what we call vaccines plus, and that means keep doing what you're doing and vaccinate certainly for 6 months.
So was that clear? Kind of even.